This is the Human AI Experience, a space for creative minds shaping the future, empowering you with the right tools, insights, and real-world stories to harness AI and elevate your creative work.
On today's show, it's only me, so we're doing something a little bit different. It's going to be a shorter episode, more concise, to reflect on this MIT study that tries to answer this existential question. Does generative AI actually makes us more creative at work or just makes us faster? And the results, spoiler alert, might not be what you expect. What the study actually looked at. So the setup from the MIT researchers, they wanted to know how AI looks like when ChatGPT affects creativity in real world workplace settings, right? So they split the participants in three groups. Group one was humans working solo. Group two was humans using ChatGPT as support. Group three, ChatGPT working on its own. The task: come up with new product ideas, the kind of thing you might do in a team brainstorming, pitch meeting, or innovation lab. They were looking at two key things: how many ideas were generated and how original or useful those ideas actually were. Here's what they found, and I love this part. People using AI came up with more ideas, but humans alone still produce the most creative ones. In other words, quantity went up with AI, but quality didn't always follow. What does this mean for creative work then? Let's just unpack that a little bit. If you use ChatGPT or another AI tool for work, this might sound familiar. You go on, you open ChatGPT and you ask for help. Say, write me a headline or brainstorming a product, and boom, it gives you 10 options, right? But how often do these options feel good? Do they feel safe? Are they too predictable? And that's what this study gets at. AI is great at speed and scale. It's like having a super fast assistant who never sleeps. But when it comes to coming up with a bold, emotional, totally unexpected idea, it still leans on patterns as it's seen before. So it's not original, as it say, right? Because it's basically tapping on the world's pool of knowledge. So it's regurgitating things that we all wrote or created at somewhere, right? So it's not particularly original. So here's what I took from this study, right? So AI expands your idea list, but not necessarily your imagination. Creativity isn't just output. It's surprise, relevance, emotion, and most of all, humans still lead when it comes to originality. So now the good news is the group that did the best in the study wasn't just humans or just AI, it was humans plus AI. And I think we've been like a broken record in this podcast talking about this, that AI by itself can scale or can generate a lot of things, but it needs human curation. We need to be leading this movement, right? So we don't need to choose between people and AI. I think the real magic happens when we work together, when we use this as a tool. Think of AI as a creative partner, right? As a thought starter. You ask it for ideas, it gives you something to bounce off, and that spark might lead you somewhere new. It's like some sort of jazz improvisation where somebody starts like jamming with the drums or the piano, and then the other musicians try to tag along and try to incorporate their rhythms into the melody, and then all of a sudden you have a jazz improvisation jam where everything kind of falls. But each one of these musicians are kind of working with their expertise. They're bringing their understanding of tempo, understanding of musicality to the improv, to the jazz improvisation, and then suddenly everything sounds in harmony, right? So I guess that's the parallel. So AI sets the rhythm, but it's you to come and adjust. You're the instructor, you're like leading the orchestra. So let's just talk a little bit about how I felt this on my own work, right? So sometimes I'm stuck on naming something, for example, and I ask ChatGPT or any LLM will do to give me 5 ways to say it. I might not use any of these, any of the results, but it makes me think and reflect about these options. Sometimes it will give me other ideas, or sometimes I will look into the results and I think maybe combining 2 or 3 of them might give me a much better result or a different output. And for me, this is a great sparring partner. So another example is sometimes it gave me the perfect structure, but the content it's a bit off. So what you need to do then in this case is just add some emotional or strategic layer on top. And I've done that many times, and most of the time I'm using these tools, I'm doing something on top of it. So the study also hints at something deeper, right? So as AI becomes more common, the skills we need as creative professionals are changing. It's not just about being creative in a traditional sense. It's about knowing how to write a good prompt, knowing how to spot a generic idea, and knowing when to break the AI's pattern and go in a new direction. I guess those 3 things are the most important. We need to be critically analyzing everything that AI generates. Like AI is good at executing, but we need to curate that. We need to understand what is good, what is edgy. Maybe this is maybe there are some cultural aspects that you need to take into consideration in regards to the output that it's giving you. There's a lot of things that we need to analyze as humans that can resonate with the target audience that we're trying to reach, right? And AI can give you some ideas in regards to that, but you still need to validate and double check with your own uh, understanding of culture or cultural biases, let's say. So, in short, we're becoming creative directors, basically, not just idea generators, right? So, in this role, our judgment is everything. That's the part that cannot be replaced, at least not yet, or maybe not ever. So, I just want to end up with a few tips for creatives, right? For listeners working in design, content creation, storytelling, or even creative strategy, here are some takeaways. Use AI to sketch, not to finish, not finish work. Let it give you options, but make the final call yourself. The second one, learn one tool deeply. Try to specialize, let's say, in Mid Journey. How to use it, Mid Journey to the yeah, learn Mid Journey. Specialize it into that tool. Don't don't try to use them all. Try to get really good at teaching Mid Journey to do whatever you think you need to do. Do it one tool at a time. There's a million of tools out there, but there's no point on trying to keep up. So there are some established ones that you can start. Pick one of these and go forward. The third one, treat AI as your creative partner. So someone, let's say, helpful, that is fast, full of ideas, but you still the creative director. You're still teaching that, or you still have the veto power, or you still have the control, right? The fourth one, build a workflow. Like create repeatable steps for how AI fits into your process. Try to incorporate these tools more and more into your process. And the last one is protect your voice. Try to always look into AI outputs ask yourself, does this sounds like me? Because if it doesn't, then you should definitely change the output or add your personal flavor to that particular copy that you're writing. And this, of course, is if you're writing of using AI to kind of replicate the way you speak, it's mostly important in that regards. So I think that's mostly it for today. So just to back up the original, just to go back a little bit to the original question, right? Does AI makes us more creative at work? Well, the answer, according to the study and then what we've been discussing here, yes, it can, but only if you do it right. It can make us more creative in a sense, but not directly, but indirectly, because it it allows you to spar with it. It fuels your creativity by giving you some options, but you're still in control. You still need to apply your judgment into whatever is outputting. So generative AI is a fantastic and powerful tool. It helps us move faster. It helps us break creative blocks. But true creativity, the ideas that connect us and inspire and move people, that still come from us. So that's not going to be automated in anytime soon. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. See you next week.